have to give credit where credit is due, and even though a lot of content creators recently have already been reporting on a couple of these things, what I have to notice is the trends in which Sega is trying to make Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis a success. Now we're leading up on our 4th month of Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis, and we are sitting at around 2,200 players concurrently on a day-to-day basis. This is after the steady decline that we wound up seeing from the 70,000 players on the launch of New Genesis, and this also only includes Steam. Now for a game that was declining by hundreds of players on a day-to-day basis, this is actually pretty good, because even though they usually only get a high or a peak of anywhere between 2,500 to even 3,000, sometimes 6, depending on the day, that means that currently right now they have a lot of players who are actually still interested in the game. They just want more things like content. And even though players want more content, we already know that it's going to be a while before any meaningful changes happen to Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. We already know that the winter update is going to be a much bigger update than we've seen, because they've already changed the roadmap to say that it's the winter update part 1. And the part 1 will include the new region, the new level cap, the new skills, and other things of that variety. And I also believe that they'll probably implement part 2 when including summoner and maybe new story missions and other quests of that nature. Now when I start seeing them hire new individuals such as a lead game designer and other key individuals when it comes to the game development process, I start looking at this and I keep on wondering of whether or not Sega is actually doing this because they want the game to be a success and because they don't necessarily understand the current climate when it comes to gaming. I have a very different take when it comes to this, because I've seen things like this happen before with Sega when it comes to them hiring a new lead game designer when it comes to projects like Phantasy Star Nova. When you look at the actual job listing, it says this position is responsible for the lead game designs of titles related to Phantasy Star Online 2. Then go on to say that they need to have experience with medium to large scale online games. They need to also have experience when it comes to smartphone titles of a large scale as well. They also need to have at least 3 years experience of in-game supervision and implemental supervision. Then they go on to talk about how they need to be a very particular person, where they need to be a very positive thinker. They need to be able to have good communication skills, things that you would generally see when it comes to the industry of gaming as a whole. Now in the job description, when they start talking about things, they give you a brief history of Phantasy Star Online, and they speak about Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis and how it launched of 2021. And in my personal opinion here, I don't necessarily see this as anybody hiring for New Genesis's lead game designer. There also has been no mention of any departures or anything like that from any of the major players over at Sega that are involved in the Phantasy Star Online 2 project. So when I see job listings like this and I start seeing my content creator friends who are like, oh my god, they're hiring for new people to change New Genesis, they're finally fixing this, I had to sit back and laugh and then continue to do a little bit of research to be able to figure out if that's actually the case. But what I think this is actually going to be is similar to what they did with Phantasy Star Online 2 Nova, which is actually a canon story that was available for the PSP that is also set within the world of Phantasy Star Online 2. It allowed them to be able to continue the story and lore of the game without impacting the main game's, sense of pacing. Whereas we currently know that Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis itself won't have a very extensive lore when it comes to the main storyline itself. It's very possible that they could be building separate games to be able to expand the series' story and lore in single player versions. It could even be semi-cooperative versions of the titles, such as Phantasy Star Portable and Phantasy Star Portable 2 or Phantasy Star Infinite. All of these titles were directly relative to their main games, such as Universe and the original Phantasy Star 2 base game. All the while, they were their own titles where they needed to have a new lead game designer specifically dedicated to those games. It's also evident here that this could even be the case because they're hiring for regular game designers on a team member level for the Phantasy Star series as a whole. This game designer role could definitely be somebody who's going to travel back and forth between the new Phantasy Star Online 2 title, that could potentially be a thing, and then also somebody who can travel then back into New Genesis and vice versa. And the reason why I think it's going to be a similar title, or even maybe even a separate title or something of the sort, and they will potentially have people also working on New Genesis at the same time, is because of the game programmer and the server programmer roles that they currently have over on the section of the website that also then indicates a PC Online. And while Sega is currently hiring for a ton of mobile title developers, this is also considering the fact that they are building new mobile RPGs and new gacha games for the mobile market. While I'm currently not in the camp to say that they're hiring new lead game designers for Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis, what I am hoping for is that they use these new team members that they are going to be hiring to be able to help build their game along along to a positive future. Because all the while I personally believe that the winter update will be more of the current same of what we're dealing with now, I believe that if they were to do any sort of hiring, were to then transfer the lead game designer role or any director roles or anything of that nature to newer team members, by the time of the first year that the game has been launched, so we'll say around June 9th, that the game will actually be exactly where we wanted, where it'll have a ton of content that's also coherent and actually meaningful. Because I think what happens with the game right now is that while we all want more content, the global version is also suffering from the urgent quest system. Now, I'm not going to blame everything on the urgent quest system, but I am going to blame a majority of what people are feeling on that system as a whole, because I am very against randomized content as well as timed randomized content. But yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts on this lead game designer role? I'm also going to be linking the entire career website down in the description below as well, so that way you guys can see everything that's going on. And who knows, maybe somebody who's watching this video might be interested in helping the game out. Also, when it comes to things like lack of content, I realize that this is just the state of the gaming industry as a whole right now. The reason I say that is because you also have games like Sword of Legends Online and Bless Online, and even other variety of games like Escape from Tarkov currently having a decline and heavy declines in playership because of what's lack of content. I do think that New Genesis kind of suffers from this more than most, but considering the fact that it has more players than even something like Sword of Legends Online, I don't know. I think that's a good indicator that PSO for the most part isn't going to be going anywhere. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to leave that for another video. But anyway, thank you guys again for watching, and stay awesome, stay beautiful. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. I'm out.